Hello, everyone. Dr. Tim Creel here. Welcome to week 5 of Advanced Managerial Accounting. So, this week we are moving on in the book. So, we are on basically chapters 4 and 5 this week. We're going to look at process costing in chapter 4, which process costing is basically a costing process that companies use. It's mainly related to manufacturing, and it mainly relates to manufacturing situations whenever the product is homogeneous or all the same. So if you were producing milk, if you were producing motor oil or chemicals, where like every gallon or every, you know, all the product is exactly the same, uh, process costing would tend to be used. Process costing is an average costing method. So you would kind of, as the product moved through an area, you would look at, okay, how much went through that area, what was the cost spent on that area, and you would come up with like an average cost per pound or per quart, whatever measurement you were using in relation to the product. And so that's process costing. That's chapter 4. Now, chapter 5 looks at cost, volume, profit relationships. And this is probably one of the most useful business techniques, especially if you ever wanted to own your own business. CVP analysis looks at contribution margin, which is the profit that a company makes off of a product over and above the variable cost to produce that product. And it looks at break even analysis, which is how much does a company have to sell to break even? Target profit analysis, how much does a company have to sell to hit a certain level of target profit? Margin of safety, which is kind of a level of profitability. If a company is within their margin of safety, they're still profitable. So a lot of good topics in chapter 8 and chapter 5, excuse me. And so chapter 5, one of the most useful chapters in the entire book. So this week, you basically have a video quiz and reading assignments in the Connect system. You also have, of course, narrated PowerPoints and concept overview videos on this material. So great week, a good week this week for material. So some very useful material looking at this week. So have a great week. Get with me if you've got any questions and take care. Bye-bye.